Hi, legends. How is everyone doing? Was this the low that we've been waiting for? As per the thumbnail, was this the moment? Are we going to go and claim all-time highs? We have hit a very important level that I've been talking about for the last 2 weeks, if not last 2 weeks on my live stream. Since I got back from a little bit of a vacation, right, legends? Smash up the like on your way in. Let's analyze the price of Bitcoin, look at the larger time frame over here, and also go into some of the detail, right? The smaller time frame. We will go look at this local structure here in a second. But first, let's go and analyze the larger structure here on the 12-hour time frame and see, well, did we hit the target finally for momentum back to the upside? Or is this going to again create a lower high and continue the momentum here to the downside? Legends, jam-packed show here today. We will analyze the price of Bitcoin here on the larger time frame. We will also discuss why, okay, this could be the moment up here. It could be very well the moment. We will go through Ethereum. We'll go through a couple of altcoins. Some of them look really, really, really good. But I mean, Bitcoin needs to hold itself, right? It needs to behave. Dominance needs to start dropping. We will go look at Bitcoin dominance as well. We'll go look at a couple of altcoins. Is this the moment, legends? Is this the moment? We have swept up the liquidity below this low that we've been waiting for. We have just dipped into a massive liquidity pool, right? A lot to discuss, legends. Let's get right into it. Remember to smash up the like button on your way in. Hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And remember, the exchanges that I use with the biggest sign-up bonuses and lowest trading fees is down in the description, especially Weeks. They've got that amazing deal running for the community at the moment. You get up to $20,000 sign-up bonus. You get 50% discount on your trading fees, okay? And all you need is an email and a password. So, legends, if you're not trading on Weeks yet, I'm not sure what you are waiting for. Go give it a go and see how it goes. See if it's an exchange that you can make friends with, especially if you are from a area where, leverage is frowned upon. Right, legends? Let me say hi to the beautiful community, and then we can dive right into the technical analysis and the alpha over here. Very interesting what I see here on the price of Bitcoin. Watch and listen. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Thanks for being here today. Hi, Dewald. I missed you. You are our rich dad in terms of 𝗞𝗚𝗽. Thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate it. ID Dark Strike. I Dark Striker. Hello, Dewald and legends. I can't wait for that double bottom on 89 and close the daily above 92,500 again. Yeah, that would be absolutely amazing. Okay, it's not to say that we've tapped that level. We can't tap it again, but we have tapped a very important level to the downside. Legends of the Fall. And then the person whose name I can't read over here. Hi, Dewald. Happy to see you. Ziggy. Hi, legends. Was that the low we've been waiting for? Yes. Can we go back up now? There is a possibility that we can definitely recover from where we are right now. Or we go test that low again, right? We will analyze the technicals here on the lower time frames. Top G for charge. Like M on YouTube, it doesn't look good for crypto. Yes, at the moment it doesn't look good because when there's retracements, okay, there's bearishness in the air. People lose faith. The altcoins are bleeding. Everyone's cashing out their bags. They are not buying where they're supposed to be buying. They are buying at higher levels, right? And, dips in a bull market generally is made for buying, because I remember when we were over here, no one wanted to buy. I remember when we were over here, no one wanted to buy. No one wanted to buy. No one wanted to buy the dips. But when you're pumping, everyone is bullish and everyone wants to buy. But when there's fear, okay, these little purple candles in my instance is fear candles. No one wants to buy these candles over here. And now we are at a very important level here. Right, Mr. Crypto Big Brains, Pac-Man, mods, welcome in the house. I appreciate the support. Crypto by Matt, sub legends here in the live stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Right, Dewald, can you come to us 1 hour earlier? I will try my best, right? I will try my best. Some people prefer later because then they are waking up. Some people are getting ready for bed. Some people are having lunch. So there's no perfect time for me to go live, right? The beauty about going live is at least the session is on YouTube, so you can go and rewatch it if you don't get to watch it right now. I missed the 382 Dewald. I'm Adam, right. It's not over. Early pivot at 68,800, 86,600. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we can, yeah, I see that pivot over there that you're referring to. Definitely a possibility. So, legends, let's get into the technical analysis. The best day ever for shopping crypto. Yes, I also agree because some of the altcoins are hanging on by a thread. And the moment needs to be now. Otherwise, they're going to lose their bullish structures and they're just going to have to rebuild those structures back to the upside. Okay, so even in some instances where some of the altcoins that we are watching are going to lose their bullish structures, it just means that they have to rebuild those structures. So we can still make money to the upside, but some of them are literally hanging on by a thread. So the moment, is this the moment? That's the question. Is this the moment where Bitcoin is going to go and build an impulsive structure back to the upside to go and claim the high at $108,000 again? That is the question, right? From a simplicity perspective, legends, I always go through Elliott wave theory. We analyze the waves, ABCs, B flats, 1.618s. We throw the Fibonacci's in there. From a simplicity perspective, because remember, you can make trading as difficult or as easy as you'd like. Okay, so from a simplicity perspective, this is one of the scenarios that I am still keeping in mind. Okay. The one thing I want to highlight over here, just drag the support box ever so slightly to the left so we can see what is cooking. Right, what if this is this one scenario? I want to switch on my trend lines as well, okay? What if, right, taking a fib from this low over here to the high, this is what we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks. We have now finally tapped the 0.382. And we have been talking about it for the last 2 weeks. You guys know, right? We've been talking about the 0.382. And then we got this beautiful movement to the downside. You grabbed all the liquidity below this low over here, and now we bounced on the 0.382. And usually, okay, this is what I've been saying for the last 2 weeks, when you have an impulse to the upside and you come back for a retest and you tap a major fib level for the first time, you get a nice reaction. Okay, a nice little bounce to the upside. But it's not to say that it's gonna be the bounce. It could just be a bounce that rejects by the trend once again. Oops, almost dropped my mic over there, right? And then we go down to the 50% fib level. So definitely scenario to still keep in mind is to say that, well, perhaps, you know, in confluence with a trend that's running, when you connect this pivot with this pivot, a nice little trend that's running to the upside, we have confluence with a trend, we have confluence with a 50% fib level, and also that range low that I have been talking about. This has to be the last line in the sand for the bears, or for the bulls, sorry, for the bulls. This level needs to hold for us to still have that momentum to the upside, looking at this structure to still have one more wave here to the upside. Okay, but we have now tapped a very important fib level, 0.382, very important fib level that we've just tapped, and that is where we're currently getting the reaction. This is the nice little bounce that we're seeing here at the moment. So beautiful tap of the 0.382, and this is just a scenario. Remember that, you know, if another scenario could also be the low is in. Okay, because now we have to really see what the local structure that's going to build up over here is going to offer us. Is there bearishness in the structure? Is it struggling? Is volume decreasing while we're moving up? Proof, you know, proof of strength. That's what we need to see. Proof of strength here to the upside. We have a more local trend that I'll go through now in a moment as well, that we potentially still need to break through. And then this major trend over here, we've only tapped it twice, and usually from a trend line perspective, not always, okay, you want at least 3 taps before you see the true breakout on the 4th attempt. So it's either we break out now because we've tapped a major fib level, we've now claimed most of the liquidity to the downside, we've reset the funding rates, we've stopped out most probably hundreds of millions in long liquidations. Yeah, but there's still the potential. We either break out, okay, or we go and tap that 50% fib level to the downside. Right, legends. Now, from a larger time frame perspective, it's just simple, right? You have tapped the 0.382, you're currently getting the reaction. And as long as the 382 can hold as support, this is a very, very important support. As long as we can hold support over here, the bulls has a chance. Right. So let me switch this off and let's go and zoom into the smaller time frames. Right, so let's go on to, first thing I want to check is, let's first go on to the 1 hour time frame and look at the local structure and the moves that we formed here to the downside. And remember to smash up the like button, legends. Remember to smash up the like. Before all-time high is not in 100%. Right, cool, legends. So on the 1 hour time frame, this is the trend that I'm keeping an eye on. Remember, here's the bigger trend, okay, where you're just basically connecting this high with this high. And then we have a more local trend here to the downside, basically just connecting this pivot against this pivot. And now we want to see, well, more locally, what's going to happen here. Are we going to test that low again? Okay, and get acceptance back above. Remember that 382 level just needs to hold. Even if we test the low, okay, you want to see it bought back up very quickly, maybe just leaving that wick behind. But I mean, there's a strong chance that we could also form that higher low over here and then break this trend, okay, for continuation here to the upside. Another thing that I'm keeping an eye on over here is to say that, well, this could potentially be the end of the corrective structure right over there. Okay, where we now have formed a WXY to the downside. Okay, just want to see A, B, C to the downside in a 3-wave structure. 5, 3, 5. This was an A wave. A wave can be a 5-wave structure. B waves are always 3-wave structures. And now we have a final C wave here to the downside. Okay, so there is a chance that this could be the low. Unfortunately, nothing's ever guaranteed in the market. But from a simplicity perspective, you could be one of those people that says, well, I'm going to trade the break of the trend. Okay, and the trend is my friend until the very end. So you wait, you set your alarm on your trend, and you wait for the break of the trend. So you don't care what happens over here. You're not a bottom catcher. You don't know about swing failure patterns. You couldn't care less, right? So whatever price does over here, you wait for the break of the trend, preferably with some high time frame candle closes above. You enter with risk management, depending on where the most recent low is. You put your stop loss below the low. For now, that is our low over there. And then you need to go and work out your profit taking areas. Okay, that's definitely a TP area over there, right? Definitely a TP area over there. And then, I mean, we still have that range high. We still have that range high. Let me just switch on my today analysis. Okay, we're going to go into a little bit more detail over here, but we still have the range high over here, right? So there is some areas of resistance that we need to pay attention to on our way up, because remember, when you enter a trade, okay, and this is something that I get quite often, where people get confused, or they get into a trade, they expect higher levels, and then it doesn't come. Okay, let's say price finds the strength over here, it creates a higher low and it breaks out. Okay, you enter right over there, for example. Or maybe you were lucky enough to enter here the SFP from the daily level. I'm sure we have a daily level there at the bottom, right? We do have a nice little SFP. So maybe you caught the SFP over here. Your position is already protected like a sniper. Okay, maybe we come and do a back test of the daily level and then we find upwards momentum. So you could either say, I'm going to play the breakout over here. I can actually take this daily level out. I don't need this daily level anymore. But it could be a point of resistance. So let me just leave it there for now. We have lost it. We've already got the rejection at the moment at the daily. So for now, I'm just going to leave that daily. But let's say you play the breakout over here. Often, so often, you put your stop loss here below the low, you play the breakout, and so often, unfortunately, and this is why most people still lose money in trading. They play the breakout, they enter with their stop loss, and then they think this is the trade. They've nailed it. Or you've entered over here already, okay? Currently in profits, maybe you took some, maybe you didn't take some profits, but you think now this is the trade. And then it does this, right? You were in profits, you were smiling on the way up, you didn't know where to take profits, greed got the better of you, you thought that I've nailed it, you're showing off your P&L to your friends and family on your Discord groups, look at my amazing entry, everyone tells you, oh wow, just hold on, and then it rejects you by the range high, or maybe SFPs from the highs over here, doesn't even get there, you were in profits, okay, nice profits depending on where you entered, you didn't take profit where you're supposed to take profits, and you get stopped out. And that is the difference between investment and day trading. Day trading is about getting in, taking your profits and getting out. You don't care how high price is going to go and how low price is going to go, because a day trader looks at the technicals. He applies his trading strategy with good risk management and he takes profits where he's supposed to take profits. It's as easy as that, right? And then if you do get stopped out, you get stopped out with profits in the bag. But don't be the person that thinks that every trade is the trade. It's the trade that's going to double your account, triple your account, because you went in 20x your entire account and then didn't take profits, get stopped out, or you don't have a stop loss, you keep on adding to your position, because that also happens, right? Where people are like, no, it's going to turn around, it's going to turn around, it's going to turn around, and it doesn't turn around, okay? And it liquidates your account. So just a little bit of risk management. I love to hammer on risk management during the technical analysis. Okay, cool. Is a chance to get in on the second wave in BTC, right? That's what we're going to analyze now on the smaller time frame. So legends, looking at the structure over here, okay, I can count that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in an A wave, okay, A wave. Then potentially what we formed over here is a 3-wave structure in a B. And now we have a 5-wave structure down in a C wave. So this could be potentially the completion of a 3-wave corrective structure to the downside, where you want the price to start finding strength and break this trend. Okay, we already have 2 taps, right? And usually by the 3rd tap, maybe you come and retest the daily and you break out on the 4th attempt, or you break out over here. I want to go onto the 5-minute time frame now. So now zooming in here onto the 5-minute time frame, okay, this was the trend that I'm watching here at the moment, okay. If you did not catch the SFP from the daily level, we have now also broken, let me check this out, the trend here to the upside. And if we were speculating on a 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5, so maybe the impulse is finished, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe this is an A, B, C, and this is the 5-wave structure. Very difficult to know for sure. Okay, what you could also do is, I'm now going to put a trend over here, because we're now potentially building a bullish pennant here to the downside. And as long as we don't get acceptance back inside of this trend, okay, that could potentially be good, right? And if you break this little bull flag to the upside, Okay, definitely a chance to come at least claim this high. So there's already a trading setup over there. You enter, you know where to take profits. Small little scalp, and for the legends, the pro community members, you know, these small little moves can be significantly profitable from a day trading perspective. Okay. Right, legends, if we are speculating, this is now what I'm looking at. If we're speculating on a 1, 2, 3, okay, this is the fourth wave to the upside. All three ended over here, okay, 1, 2, 3, and this is an ABC flat to the upside in a fourth wave, and we still need to go down for a fifth wave. What I love to look at is to say that, well, from the top of 2, okay, to the bottom of 3, we should not tap the 0.618. That's the invalidation for a fourth wave, right? And we ever so slightly front run that zone over there. So this now makes it a little bit tricky, because if we tap the 0.618 over here, I would have said there's a much higher chance that the low is in, and we are going to make a higher low and have a nice little breakout to the upside. But because we tapped the maximum target of a fourth wave and ever so slightly front run the 0.618, this is what makes the scenario a little bit tricky at the moment, okay? But we can look at CVD for a couple of clues, right? Do we have bullish CVD here on the local time frame? Nope. We do have insane bullish CVD against this little pivot over here, but I like to use the clear pivots to the up and to the downside, right? So no bullish CVD just as yet. Okay, we can go and analyze that little structure here to the downside in a little bit more detail in a moment, okay? But this is now the question. Is this a 1, 2, 3, 4 in a flat? And now we are going to start creating impulses back to the downside to then go and complete the fifth wave. So we just have to be aware that that's definitely a possibility. But wow, this is an insane amount of volume. This is something that I keep an eye on. This is an insane amount of volume. Even on the higher time frames, here on the 1 hour time frame, you can see that that little volume spike over here, right, is quite significant compared to the volume over here. Right, and it ended in green volume, so that could potentially be the end of something and the start of something new. And what I mean by that is it could be the low, and you're going to start getting a little bit of a relief rally here to the upside based on this high volume candle. I mean, you can see all the other green candles over here, insignificant compared to this high volume node that we have here at the moment. Okay, so legends, it's never easy in trading. From an Elliott wave perspective, we can go crazy. There's bullish case scenarios, there's bearish case scenarios. Are we still going to make a fifth wave to the downside? Is the corrective structure finished? But what we do from a day trading perspective is we just watch the reactions, okay? We apply our trading strategies and we know where to take profits. So if this breaks out successfully over here in this little bullish pennant, okay, it has a chance. It really has a chance. If it breaks out over here, the beauty about this breakout is that you could have a relatively tight stop loss. Okay. And you're at least targeting the high over here. And it does have the potential to even come and claim this high over here. Right. So there's a potential trading setup in the making over here, depending on how price reacts. Okay, maybe it gets a rejection, comes back down again, but you know, but if price gets acceptance back below this trend, that's not going to look good. Okay, that's going to be a little bit bearish. So, legends, that is basically what I see here on the price of Bitcoin. We have tapped a major FIP level, left a massive wick here to the upside. You can just see the buying power that kicked in over here was absolutely insane. Right now we have broken the local trend over here. Okay, on the 15-minute time frame, we have broken the local trend, and because we closed the body of a 15-minute candle above the local trend, that's something that I look out for. This could be a nice little bullish pennant that's hopefully successfully going to break out over here to come and claim the high, and claim the high over there. Right. Very important to pay yourself on the way up if you do attempt a trade over here. CPI on Wednesday, legend. Yes, one final dip then, right? We don't know whether the news is going to be bullish or bearish. I can tell you guys now, if we are going to consistently have bullish news this week, there's a high chance that the low could be in. Okay, what looks very familiar about this little low over here is if I go onto the daily time frame and let's just clean it up over here. Okay, take this Fibonacci out. Take the Fibonacci out the way. What looks very familiar, and I'm not sure if you guys will agree or not. Okay, if I look at this structure over here and you have that wick that just grabbed everything here at the bottom, that little wick here to the bottom, okay, it also looks very familiar in terms of what market makers love to do. When you are inside of a range, you have that final wick to the downside, okay, and you start momentum back to the upside where you form the higher low and then you continue, right? So that's what I'm saying, legends. Although we could go down to lower levels, definitely a possibility. That 50% FIB level, definitely a possibility. But for now, it looks like the damage is done. For now, it looks like the damage is done because we've claimed the liquidity. And I think what market makers would typically do is that they would send price up again to build up more liquidity below this low if they are still planning to go to lower levels. So, you know, you also, sometimes you just need to think a little bit like a market maker to say that, well, if you want to build up more liquidity over here, what do you have to do? You have to make people believe that the price is going up. So perhaps you get that relief rally here to the upside. You make a higher high from that little high over here. You're starting to break market structure. Okay, you make people believe that the price is going to all-time highs. Where do they put their stop losses? Below the low. Then you go and grab it because now there's liquidity to grab. But now, for now, it looks like the damage is done. For now, the liquidity has been grabbed. So there's not much left to the downside. Okay, so it would make sense. Market is here to surprise us. Okay, I'm just trying to put my market maker hat on when I trade with $1 billion, my market maker hat. If market makers still want to come to this level, let's say we definitely gonna come and bounce at this level over here. Make people bullish first so that you build up more liquidity so that there's more to grab to the downside to fill their long bags. Because market makers, remember, needs liquidity in order to fill their bags, in order not to move the price of Bitcoin. So if this is the zone, okay, you actually want price to go back up so that you can build up more liquidity, then grab it, and then off to the races you go. So I'm just playing out all the scenarios that I can possibly think of over here. So for now, and I guess this is what I'm trying to get to now, is for now, the low could be in. And we can take advantage of a potential pump here to the upside. Right. And I mean, yes, there's always that possibility that you sweep the low again and you get the acceptance back above. And that's a nice little swing failure pattern, enabling us to get a better entry back to the upside. And remember, legends, down in the description of this video. Okay, let me zoom in over here so everyone can see. I need to share this with my legends over here. Okay, for some reason it doesn't want me. Come on, zoom in. Let's try again. Right. For some reason it doesn't want me to zoom in. I'm double tapping, not zooming in. Okay, down in the description of this video, I've got week's first link down in the description where you get up to 20,000 sign up bonus. You get 50% off in your trading fees only by using the link down in the description. And all you need is an email and a password to sign up. Also, you get 10% cash back on the money that you deposit in your features account, but you need to leave it in there for at least 3 days. Okay, up to $1,000. So it means that if you deposit $10,000, they will give you $1,000 for Mahala. Okay, it just gets airdropped into your account. You can use that for risk management, to trade with, whatever you want to do, right? Weeks is one of my favorite exchanges at the moment, and I am actually in a long trade here on Weeks with this little bounce here to the upside. So I have opened up a small little long trade here to the upside. I still have a swing position open. I've also got some couple of swing positions still open here on Bluffin. And my two favorite exchanges here at the moment is Weeks and Bluffin, because that is where you only need an email and a password to sign up. So if you are from somewhere where leverage is frowned upon, okay, go and give one of these two exchanges a go. Right. Cool, legends. So now, okay, from a trading perspective, I think we've gone through the scenarios over here. Currently, looks like we're breaking the trend to the upside, which is a bullish sign for now. All right, and you know that is what trading is about. It's about trading the probabilities, applying your trading strategy with good risk management. So for now, it looks like it's attempting a breakout here to the upside. I would like to see a 15-minute candle close outside of that trend. I also just want to see on the 5-minute time frame. Okay, this is now where I go a little bit crazy and psychoanalyze the momentums here to the upside and to the downside. This can potentially be, I mean, do I have to even go into the 1 minute to try and count the structure here to the upside? It could be an impulse here to the upside. Most amount of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ended in less volume, third ended in higher volume. I mean, it could be a 5-wave structure here to the upside. What I'm more interested in is the corrective structure. So from the high to the low to the highs over there, where did we get the bounce? We got the bounce at the 1.236, very common corrective structure target. Okay, 1.618 also very common, but that's where we got the support at the moment. So what I personally would like is to claim that high. Okay, you want to start changing local market structure, and I know I'm stuffing around here on the 1 minute time frame, but I mean it applies to all time frames. Is you need to claim this high to start changing market structure. So price needs to find strength and break that high. Then you are changing market structure because you're forming a higher high. You come back down, maybe you retest the trend, you form a higher low, and then off to the races you go, right? But I love to see market structure change. Okay, so typically if you are attempting a trade over here, what I would do if I was in this trade, as always, no financial advice, right? If you are attempting a trade over here with good risk management, right, is that your stop loss goes below the low. You're playing the breakout over here, but you need to pay yourself on the way up, right? You have to pay yourself on the way up. And I mean, obvious profit taking areas. Let's go back here onto the 5-minute time frame. Is you take a fib from the high to the low. Okay, 0.618 has confluence with these little pivots over here, 786. Okay, and if you tap the 0.88, then you can definitely leave some of that position open. Okay, as soon as you tap the 0.88, you increase the probabilities of claiming the high. So, okay, the structure needs to give us some bullishness here to the upside, right? But you need to pay yourself. Okay, I think if we're going to find strength here to the upside, I think we're going to tap the 0.618. Okay, that's definitely a profit-taking area. If we fail to claim this high, okay, go back here onto the 1 minute time frame. If we fail to claim this high, what I would then like to see is a bounce at the 0.618. Okay, taking a fib from the high to the low to the high. Also want to take a normal Fibonacci from this low to the high and see if we have areas of confluence. Just make sure that I've got it. Oh, this Fibonacci actually goes down a little bit lower. There we go. Right. The 1.618 is the area I don't really want to see us lose over here. 1.618. Okay, so if we reject here and we don't successfully break out, you want to see us find support in this zone. And a little bit further down, we have the 0.618. Okay, so, right, that could be maybe the breakout that happens over there. If we don't successfully break out here, we have tapped the 1.236. Okay, a little bit further down, we still have another level, a bullish level. If you lose this zone, there's a chance that you could come and claim this low again. Right, maybe just to stop out all the early longs. Bam, right, that's what you want to trade. Stop below the low, you enter as price starts getting a recovery and starts trading above this level. Okay, that is a bullish sign. You enter, stop below the low. As you move into profits, you protect your position. Now you have a free trade to the upside, and okay, you wait for the breakout for confirmation, for momentum back. Right, but it still has a chance. Okay, it still has a chance from where it is right now. Okay, cool, legends. Let me go through some comments, and we can go and have a look at a couple of altcoins. Because boy, oh boy, some of the altcoins, ooh, I hope I don't get stopped out. CVD bearish, yes, is CVD bearish? Let me just, I'm not sure what I did over here, but okay, maybe that's why I couldn't zoom in. Can I zoom in now? Yes, now I can zoom in, right? So let's go and look. Yeah, that is bearish, right? Against this high over here, we do have some bearish CVD on white, and on blue, the target is the low. Right. If you claim the high properly, then you invalidate the bearish CVD. Okay. It's not a good sign, especially if you want some nice momentum to the upside. It's not a good sign, but as always, no indicator is perfect. CVD is around about 72 to 74% accurate. So it does have some false signals. But at the moment, looking at CVD, we do have bearish CVD against that pivot and the high created over there. The target is the low. Right, so it still has a chance, even if the bearish CVD plays out. Okay, maybe it's building up a little flaggy, you lose it to the downside, you claim the low, bearish CVD played out. Done. Okay, and then maybe you bounce there by that 1.618 level that we've just discussed. Okay, claims the liquidity below that low over there. I do like this low. Okay, because that's the range low strategy in motion over here on the 3-minute time frame. Okay, and you get acceptance back above and you claim the high. So quickly want to point that out to everyone. Right, so this 1.618 level over here, this level over here has confluence with these lows. Okay, so usually after a nice little pump to the upside, that first low that you make is we refer to as the range low. Okay, so I'm going to go and put in a proper level over there. Okay, let's put a horizontal, take a magnet and snap it on here. Okay. Okay, it could go and invalidate that. Let's see how this plays out. If price, okay, it looks like it wants to pump. Let's just see. Okay, if price rejects, doesn't claim the high, falls to the downside, and it taps this range low over here. The rules of the strategy. Here comes the education. Okay, here comes the education. The rules for this strategy is as follow. I like to refer to it as the tap and go scenario. It needs to tap the level and get away from it. Okay, maybe it taps that the 1.618 over here. It's fine if it dips even a little bit below, but you want to see the recovery back above. And then the rule for the strategy states it's not allowed to tap this level again. If it bounces and it comes back and it taps the level again, you increase the probabilities of filling the inefficiency. Okay, so it's not going to be a good sign. And also, if you close high time frame candles below and you struggle to get acceptance back above, it starts trading below the level, you increase the probabilities of going down lower, filling the inefficiency. So the rule for the strategy for me is very simple. You tap it, you get acceptance back above. I usually enter over there with my stop below the low. And as I start moving into profits, I protect my position because I know if I get stopped out, you tap the level for the second time and you increase the probabilities of filling the inefficiency. Right, so you want price to get acceptance back above and it needs to move away. It needs to break the trend again and it needs to move away. It should not tap the level again. Right. clean up the scribble over here. Let's go through some comments. Rune, yes, I will go through some altcoins in a moment. I've got Rune, I've got Ethereum, I've got some interesting altcoins. I don't want to give it all away just as yet, but some of them are at critical levels. Some of them I'm almost being stopped out. Yes, AR, we can go and look at AR as well. I'm still in my AR swing trade with my clear invalidation, like I've mentioned before. I have a clear invalidation for my AR trade. If I get stopped out, it is what it is. On Rune as well, if I get stopped out, it is what it is. I've told everyone I'm entering with good risk management and I have a clear invalidation. I'm not just risking my entire portfolio, closing my eyes and hoping for the best. Okay, yes, it can work a couple of times, but sooner or later you're going to burn your account. Okay, so for now, looks like, you know, it would be nice if price can claim this high. Really nice, but it needs to not just, you know, you don't want a double top, because that's a bearish sign. If you have a double top, you want price to smash the high properly, okay, and then come back maybe for a retest or just continuation to the upside, okay, or come back for retest, form that high, the higher low for continuation back to the upside. But it's a trading strategy with good risk management, and it's now invalidated the local bearish CVD, and it looks like it wants to go and claim the high. Right, so I'm not sure who took this trade. Mr. Crypto Big Brains, did you take this trade? And because I saw a comment of you saying you hope you don't get stopped out. Okay, any trade, I always say any trade is a good trade with good risk management, as long as you know your 3 W's. Okay, if you know your 3 W's and you are trading with good risk management, okay, you enter the breakout, you know where to take profits, you know where to put your stop loss, risk to reward, most importantly, makes sense. It's more than a 2 to 1 risk to reward. So for every $100 you're risking over here, you have the potential to make $200. And so you basically know why you are entering, you know where your stop loss is, and you know where to take profits. So if you can tick your 3 W's and right, any trade is a good trade with good risk management, not risking more than what you can afford to lose. Okay, cool. Yes. Say, it was so promising. I wonder if it's still going to pump or move like other alts. Dewald, what are your thoughts? Yes, we can go and have a look at 𝗖. We can go and have a look at, I actually do have 𝗖 prepared over here, right? I also have another altcoin, a meme coin, that I think is going to do phenomenal things here to the upside. Okay, obviously it's dependent on Bitcoin, but they are hitting some critical levels that are very interesting to me. Okay, right. So it looks like we are going to invalidate the bearish CVD. Okay, it looks like we're going to invalidate those bearish CVDs. So that's why I say CVD, not always. Okay, there's still that 30% chance, 27% chance that the CVD, okay, is going to get invalidated. Cool, legends, that's basically what I see here on the price of Bitcoin. So in summary, I think, you know, the low could be in. In summary, the low could be in. If we come back down, you want to see this buying pressure kick in, and it needs to leave a wick behind, and you want price to start trading back above. Swing failure from the low. Okay. Ideally, what you want to see is price just to continue here to the upside, where you're now building a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be nice to see a nice 5-wave structure back to the upside, because 5-wave structures are bullish structures, where they have a 3-wave corrective structure, they form a higher low and continuation back to the upside. Okay, so I mean, these are small little scalp trades that we're highlighting over here. Right, so I can clean up the chart from a larger time frame perspective. Let's go on to the 1 hour. Okay, if you're a larger time frame trader, okay, you could say, well, I don't care what happens over here. I'm not too interested. Okay, I'm going to wait for the break of this trend. Right, then you also need to answer your 3 W's. Why are you entering? Where is your risk management? And where do you plan to take profits? Okay, because if it breaks this trend, there is a chance that it's going to come and tap the trend here on top, right? Because now when I zoom out onto the 4-hour time frame, you are basically playing the breakout. You are playing the breakout before the breakout, because this could be a rejection. Okay, And if it's a successful breakout over here, you already have an entry down below, far down below. Okay, so you can have a free trade to the upside, maybe take some profits over here because you don't know if it's going to successfully break out or if it's going to reject back to the downside. So, you know, always a good strategy. I always talk about playing the breakout before the breakout. Okay, always a good strategy. Okay, you want to catch the trade over here. So then you don't have to worry about what's going to happen over here. Because if you're too scared to do anything down here where you're supposed to be buying and supposed to be building an entry, okay, with good risk management, and it continues and it breaks out, guess where you have to put your stop loss? You have to put your stop loss so far away, right, that the risk to reward doesn't make sense anymore. So if this is the low and it just breaks out over here and it breaks out over here and you enter over here with your stop below the low, the risk to reward is not worth it. That is why it's better to look for an entry over here with good risk management so that you don't have to FOMO into a trade up here. Right, so let's go and have a look at a couple of altcoins, legends. Let's go and have a look. Okay. First altcoin on the list, Dewald, please look at BTC dominance for the legends. Okay, let's go and have a look at BTC dominance. I mean, I do want to highlight that dominance, total 3, total 1, 2, and 3 dominance, 𝗬cie, all the charts that basically shows you, it's an indicator, right? We have to acknowledge this is an indicator. Bitcoin dominance shows you where money is flowing to. Is money flowing into Bitcoin or is money flowing out of Bitcoin into the alt ecosystem? And usually when there's no money behind the chart, okay, you can't trade Bitcoin dominance. It shows you where the money is going. So I call it an indicator. It is difficult to do technical analysis on, especially on the lower time frames. Okay, and this is why I like to focus on the daily and the weekly time frame over here. So from a daily perspective, okay, we have lost the bearish pennant finally. Still, okay, you have built up a little bearish pennant here to the upside. We have lost it. It looks like we already had the retest. We left a week behind, and this could be the moment of weakness where it starts rolling down because you've lost the channel. Okay. On the smaller time frame, which I don't think is really reliable, but you know, nonetheless, okay, is we have a little bit of a downsloping trend line over here. Just connecting the high, and this is where dominance is struggling at the moment. So if it successfully breaks out, it means that, okay, we're still going to wait a while for the altcoin party, right? Because then money is flowing back into Bitcoin. The love, I call this the love chart. The love is going into Bitcoin. If we can reject over here, okay, like we did over here, if we can reject and lose this trend, it rejects, and it loses the trend and it claims this low properly. It needs to claim that low. We have a chance to come and claim this low and have a nice little alt, okay, mini alt rally. I don't know, it could get aggressive to the downside, but I mean, it's at a critical point at the moment. So yeah, on the 4-hour time frame, this is the zone that I'm currently watching. I want to see a rejection over here. Okay, you can see it's nibbling here at the trend. It's struggling. It's going up and down. Okay, it's finding resistance at the moment. Right, and that is basically Bitcoin dominance. Okay, there's not much else here on Bitcoin dominance. You can't use volume. Volume is an absolute nightmare. You can't use volume on Bitcoin dominance. Did you guys see what volume looks like on Bitcoin dominance? Can't use volume, right? I mean, how do you, what is that? No, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so I usually just switch off volume and just look at the chart, specifically the daily and the weekly. That's what I'm more interested in. Right, cool, legends. Let's go and look at ETH. ETH tapped the 50% FIP level to perfection, like literally to the dollar. Okay, I actually want to zoom in there and just see, just make sure that I have my FIP exactly at the low. Okay, let's do that exactly at the low. Okay, maybe I should even switch it on with a magnet. So then I know it is there, right? Snap it on with a magnet. Make sure that I have the FIP here at the high, exactly where it needs to be, at the high. Yeah, there we go. And then what happened over here? Like literally tapped. Okay, can you guys see that? Yes. ETH literally tapped the 50% FIP level to perfection. Bitcoin tapped the 0.382 to perfection. ETH tapped the 50% FIP level to the dollar, right? It went down a couple of cents. This is what you want to see. You want to see the buying pressure kick in. And it's holding on, right? It's holding on. Another thing that I was watching to say that it looks like this was the end of the structure, okay? The more data becomes available, it looks like this was the end of the fifth wave of a bigger first wave to the upside. So when I look at ETH here on the larger time frame, 4 hour, okay, it's like a medium time frame. It's between the high time frames and the smaller time frames. I'm looking at this structure as a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Generally speaking, you want the fourth wave to be longer than your second wave, but there is also a rule of alternation in Elliott wave theory that states, well, sometimes when you do have a long second wave, you can have a short fourth wave. Rule of alternation. Okay, a short fourth wave does not invalidate a scenario. It just increases or decreases the probabilities. But for now, this is what I'm looking at on the ETH structure, is to say that, well, maybe, just maybe, okay, this was the end for ETH. Because we were speculating on another scenario which is potentially 1, 2, 3, it's building a fourth wave, okay, and it's still going to go up for a fifth. Just claim the high. It basically just claims the high and then it comes back down again. So if the fifth wave is done over here, it's actually more bullish. It's more bullish for the price of ETH, which means it can make a move very soon. Okay, in the next couple of weeks. I do like the fact that, I mean, this liquidity below this consolidation area was just, I mean, the fact that we've grabbed that liquidity and we are now trading above is a good sign. So you want ETH now to hold the support. You want it to hold the support. It wicked below and it's currently trading inside of support. You don't really want to see ETH start trading below and closing 4-hour, 8-hour candles in this zone. Okay, you want it now to start consolidating sideways in the support zone. What I also just want to quickly have a look at is corrective structure target. So what I do is I take a FIB from the high to the low to the high, and I mean we tap the 0.618, okay, and we tap the 1.618 over here, which is usually regarded as a maximum retracement target. So if this is corrective, this is where you want ETH to find support at the 1.618. Okay. If this is a 1-2-1-2, okay, not a high probability because the second 1-2 is larger than the first 1-2. It's not an invalidation. Okay, it can come down lower. But right, I like the bullish sign that I'm seeing here at the moment on ETH, is to say that, well, still, if I look at ETH here on the larger time frame, let's zoom out to the 12-hour. This is potentially still a scenario that is in play. Okay, so on the larger time frame, okay, this is what I'm looking at. Just make that a little bit better. And if this is a 1-2, depending on where the 2 ends, we can go and calculate. You take it from the 1, from the low to the low that we have right now. Okay, there is the chance. Okay, it just has to be said that ETH still has the chance to go and tap the 1.618 and even $11,000. And this is my conservative target that I have for ETH. So if the structure, okay, doesn't invalidate itself, there's still a lot that needs to happen. If the structure doesn't invalidate itself, so I don't want, I mean, it's quite far away, but you ideally do not want this low to be taken over here. And it's very far away. It's $1,900. Let's just call it $2,000. $2,000 is the low that needs to be protected. Maximum target that you ideally want to see to the downside is the 786 when you take a fib from the low to the high. Okay, this is the target that you don't want to lose ideally, but it's not an invalidation. It's just it increases the probabilities. Okay, so if ETH still comes down, it loses the support, it starts trading high time frame candles below this area. Okay, then we have the 0.618. What I like about the 0.618, if I'm just talking most bearish case scenario over here, is that the highs will provide support. Okay, together with the 0.618. So most bearish case scenario that I see over here is that ETH loses the 50%. Okay, it taps the 0.618, it finds support above this high, where it's now basically doing an RS flip. You had resistance, 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 you broke out. Okay, you come back, you do a RS flip, you now flip support in resistance into support, and then you continue momentum back to the upside. So there's still a lot that needs to happen on ETH for it just to call for a bear market, and we're going down. Okay, so ETH still looks great, and it can find support from where it is right now. It doesn't have to go and tap the 0.618. Okay, it's now tapped the 50% for the first time. It has grabbed the liquidity. Okay, so it has a chance that it could chop sideways. Okay, there's your trend. You track your trend. Okay, you play your breakout before the breakout. Okay, very similar to Bitcoin. Can you guys see? Very, very similar to Bitcoin over here. You want to catch the breakout before the breakout. Okay, your major trend here to the upside. Legends, remember to smash up the like for the alpha over here. And if you want to trade ETH, ETH can be traded on weeks. First link down in the description, where you also get that 10% cash back on the money that you deposit in your 𝗞𝗔 account. All you need is an email and a password. So this is what I see at the moment for the price of ETH. Okay, but it does look like the structure is done. Okay, because if we are forming a fourth wave, we've tapped the 0.618. So if we were speculating on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then have an ABC to the downside, you have invalidated your fourth wave, because you tapped the 0.618, because you have to take your fib from number 2 to the high. Okay, so if this is a 1, 2, 3, you take your fib from 2 to 3, and if this is a fourth wave, it's been invalidated because it tapped the 0.618. So the structure has to be completed in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This should be your corrective structure to find upwards momentum again. Okay, right. So that is what I see here on the price of ETH, Legends. So still bullish until invalidated. Okay, someone asked here for Rune. Okay, and I know some of you here in the community took the Rune swing trade with me, and I have spoken about it often. And I did tell everyone that I have a clear invalidation, and there is a chance that this bullish structure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a wave 1. Okay, you want to see your 2 form over here, which now tapped the 0.88. Unfortunately, this little number over here does increase the probabilities of taking the low, but it still has a chance. It just impacts the probabilities. So when you tap the 0.88, you increase the probabilities of taking the low, but it does not invalidate a 1, 2, because the only rule is number 2 is not allowed to take the low. That's it. That's the rule. If it takes the low, then no more bullish structure. Okay, it's done. Then I'm going to look for a swing failure pattern from the lows. If it trades, if it dips below the low, and Rune finds strength and it starts trading back above, that is where I enter with my stop below the low, my new invalidation, and then I'm going to work out my TP areas to the upside. Depending on whether it's a low leverage swing trade or a high leverage trade, I will have my TP areas here to the upside. Clear profit taking area, but I mean the C wave, I'm still expecting a nice C wave here to the upside, even if it's bearish. Okay, but for now, Rune still has a chance. Okay, it doesn't look good. It's holding on by a thread, and now you guys can see, well, if the low is in on Bitcoin? What if the low is in on Bitcoin over here? If the low is in, Rune has a chance, okay? Because that low needs to be in for Rune still to have a chance. Ayush, BTC is falling. Let's see here on the 5-minute time frame, what can it like to be doing over here? Okay, well, it's still above the trend, so it has taken the high. This is what I wanted to see on the smaller time frame. You have taken the high, okay? So you are changing market structure. Higher high, now you want to see a higher low, so you don't want to get acceptance back inside the trend. So it still has a chance, okay? That's what you want to see. Okay, you want to see local market structure change. So on the 1-minute time frame, it looks beautiful for now. Okay, nothing's ever guaranteed in the market, but I mean, look at this. Okay, market structure change is such a powerful thing to learn. Okay, for lack of a better word, you have a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and now you broke the high. Now you have a higher high. Now what you want to see is a higher low, okay, because now the downtrend is coming to an end. Now you have a higher high, you want to see a higher low, and you want to see now momentum reverse back to the upside, higher highs, higher lows, until you do this again. Now you have a lower high, lower low. Okay, so that's something that I like to look out for, and it plays out on all time frames. Okay, plays out on all the time frames. What's also nice is you've taken this high. Okay, so you're potentially changing market structure over here. So even if the price comes down, now because you have a higher high over here, you want to see a higher low. And then if it takes this high again, and this is what some traders actually watch out for, okay, before they even consider taking a trade. Often when I speak about proof of support and proof of resistance, proof of support is, okay, some traders will look at this and be like, okay, there's my clue. It's made a higher high. It took the low, so I still have a low over here, but there's a higher high. Now I want to see a higher low. If price takes that high again, okay, they will enter only then with the retracement. Okay, so they will sit on their hands during this entire move and they will wait for this. Because they want the higher low to be in first, because at the moment, because you have not taken this high just as yet, you still have a chance to come and take this low. Because all you have is a higher high. You don't have a higher low yet. You need to have a higher high and a higher low. So there's your first clue. One, tick one. Okay, you have a higher high. Now you need a higher low. And you will only know once you have a higher low, once it takes this high again. Then you know you have a higher low. Okay, hope that makes sense. Say please, AR please. Yes, I'm going to get to that now. Awesome. Thank you, Dewald. Absolute pleasure, man. Right, so very important to look at market structure changes. Okay, even I also know some traders, including myself, sometimes is I won't play the break of the trend until it claims the high. Okay, and there's pros and cons to the strategy, because now that it's claimed the high, I want to see a higher low form over here. That to me is a better confirmation, because now I see that, right? Where some traders, they will enter the breakout and then price rolls over and you didn't form a higher high. Okay, so the pros and the cons is sometimes when I don't enter and I wait for the higher high, price just runs away and I can't enter. Okay, because I don't FOMO into trades. Sometimes I get lucky and the retracement gives me a better entry. Okay, because now you have a better entry over here and it continues momentum back to the upside. Legends, smash up the like for the education over here. Okay, I'm sharing with you things that you're most likely going to pay a lot of money for on most influencers channels. Cool, let's go on to the next scenario. Cash, please. What's up? Solana, Say, AR. Let's go and have a look at Say. Okay, because I see there's a lot of requests for Say over here. So first I want to look at the daily time frame. Let's see where we are. Okay, cool. So beautiful structure here to the upside. It is remarkably similar to Brett. It's so similar to Brett. It's actually scary. but Brett is over here. Okay, it's already made the retracement. I'm going to go through Brett now because that's another one I want to have a look at. Brett actually looks incredible where it is at the moment. So I'm going to go through Brett as well, legends. So smash up the like. Okay, you guys want to see Brett, right? 𝗖 over here has a nice, let me see. Okay, we have the bullish case scenario, and then I want to look at it more locally. So from a macro bullish perspective, what we would like to see is for 𝗖, okay, not to take the low at 21 cents. This low needs to be protected. This is an impulsive structure to the upside with the most amount of volume. This looks awfully corrective here to the downside where you formed a higher low. Okay, so again, remember I just spoke about market structure change. We have not taken the high yet, but now we have a clue in the opposite, opposite way when we now at least have a higher low. Okay, some traders will wait for the higher high first, and then they will only buy in at the retracement, right? But I mean, here on the larger time frames, you're going to wait very, very, very long. There's still money to be made before that plays out. So on 𝗖, this structure for me is still intact. The structure is still intact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a wave 1. Corrective structure in wave 2. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in an expanding diagonal. And this structure here looks corrective. So I will zoom into this structure now and share with everyone. You're potentially now forming a 1, 2, okay, which is not finished, where you want to see the 3, 4, 5 to the upside to go and complete your third wave. 1.618 is always a great profit taking area. Some people always ask me, Dewald, why is the 1.618 such a great profit taking area? Why don't you just wait for the 2, for the fifth wave to complete? The reason is you never know whether it's going to be a 5-wave structure or a 3-wave structure, because this could be an A, B, C, which is a 3-wave structure. It doesn't make 4 and 5, no 4 and 5. Or it could be bullish, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for me, this is a very safe target to take profits. Even if you get another high, I don't care to miss out on this momentum, knowing that I have made significant profits already. Because this could be an A, B, C, and it tanks to the downside. At least you've taken profits. You just never know. And I like to use the same thing on the lower time frames as well. Often you don't know whether you're forming a 3-wave structure, ABC, or whether you're forming a 5-wave impulsive structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 1.618 is always a great profit taking area because it's a C-wave target and it's a 3-wave target. Okay, that is why I like the 1.618 from a profit taking perspective. I don't care if it's going to go higher, right? Cool. So legends, what I want to do now is from a 𝗖 perspective, okay, let's zoom into the local structure and just show everyone what I see over here. Let's go on to the 4-hour, okay, clear invalidation as well here on 𝗖. Okay, so when I look at this structure, you can count, okay, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. Now this is corrective, okay, and it does look nice that the movement here to the upside, okay, had increased volume. And now the momentum to the downside has decreased volume. So that tells me that this could be impulsive and this is corrective, okay, where the low could be protected. And we are approaching very interesting levels here on 𝗖, okay. So you will see I have a load up zone, which I've adjusted and slightly amended, okay. Also from a timing perspective, from when the impulse started on the 5th of August to where the impulse ended, okay, on the 5th of December, I want to see how long did it take for the impulse. Okay, and you want a balance from a timing perspective between the impulse and the correction. And this low, unfortunately, is still made between the 3.8 before the 382, which is considered a minimum target for the corrective structure to be finished. And this is why this is my load up zone. because it's after the 382. Okay, this is your best load up zone, actually up until the 1-to-1 extension. Okay, but I do know, and I have seen it often, okay, the lowest point doesn't have to be inside of the zone, because often a corrective structure, okay, so let's say, for argument's sake, say this is the low, but it starts going sideways like such. It breaks the trend. Okay, there's your trend that you need to break, but it still goes sideways. Okay, once it's in this zone, it doesn't have to take the low again. It just means that the corrective structure can still continue without taking the low before it has the breakout to the upside. Okay, but preferably, okay, the correction will come to an end after 20th of Jan, because that's at the 382. Right, but I mean, it's still in a great load up zone, because from a Fibonacci perspective, you can see that we have not tapped the 786 just as yet at 31 cents. Ideally, this will be your maximum target, and we're not there yet. This is still a bullish target, very bullish. Okay, I would like, say, to claim these lows over here, because I can just imagine people that played the momentum here to the upside, if they didn't take profits, guess where their stop losses are? And they are now praying and hoping that price is going to turn around, okay, putting them back into profits. But it would be nice to come and tap the 786. Maybe it chops. It taps the 786, and then you have the breakout to the upside. This would be golden, because you stop out all these people that didn't take profits, okay? You stop them out. It's a bullish bounce, and then off to the races you go. So 𝗖 actually still looks great. It still looks bullish. The structure is still intact. It, you know, and even I think from a logarithmic perspective, I mean, we still have a lot of breathing room. Okay, the 786 is all the way down here at 26 cents, right? But I think claiming these lows over here would be golden. For me, from a perfect trading perspective, if I could get my wish here on 𝗖, I would like for price to chop, okay? And when it is inside the zone over here, I want it to come and smash down below these lows and get acceptance back above. That to me would be a golden entry, or a golden bullish sign, where you come down below, you get acceptance back above, and then you break to the upside. Okay, would be nice to claim the liquidity over here. Okay, for me, if I could have my way, this would be a beautiful trading setup. But I might not get it. I might get it. Who knows? Never know. Right. Let's take that one trend out. So 𝗖 actually still looks great. It really looks bullish. Okay. Invalidation is still far away. Bitcoin obviously needs to play ball. 𝗖's bullish structure here to the upside is still intact until you take the low. Okay, Rune actually looks a little bit worse, because 𝗖 hasn't even tapped the 786 over here, where Rune is dancing around the 0.88. From a log scale, let's see, from a log scale. Okay, from a log scale, we haven't tapped the 0.88 just as yet. Okay, so it still has a chance. It still has a chance. Okay, it's claimed this pivot, the liquidity below this pivot. So if Rune, you know, does some magic, breaks the trend will be slightly different on depending on which scale you use to do your analysis. But I mean, just a trend from this pivot to this pivot, if it can just consolidate sideways, break out, it has a chance. Okay, it still has a chance. On the log scale, we didn't tap the 0.88 just as yet. So, I mean, will Rune show us the magic is the question, because you guys can see similar structure. Okay, expanding 1 2 3 4 5, 𝗖 exactly 1 2 3 4 5, but 𝗖 still has a lot of breathing room compared to Rune, for example. Okay, cool. Then guys, what I want to discuss, right? Smash up the like. How many people have we got? 266 people watching the live stream, 139 likes. Can we get to 150? Then I want to take you guys through a meme coin that I think looks absolutely incredible. Okay, looks absolutely incredible. Can we get to 150 likes? If we get to 150 likes, I've got 2 more altcoins that I would like to share with you guys. Okay, can you do RSR, sir? Yes, I will go through altcoin requests in a moment, but I want to share these 2 alts with you guys. Okay, I feel like I have to. Giving us those secret juicy altcoins. Yes, yes, yes. Smash up the like. Yes, Mr. Crypto Big Brains. Hi, Dewald. Is 0.285 safe on say? Oh, cents. You mean cents? 0.28? Okay. 0.28. Well, 2885. I don't know. From a regular scale, okay, it is safe. From a regular scale, it is safe, because what you would like to see, okay, from the low to the high, is that the 786 gets tapped and you sweep up the liquidity below these lows. The question is, you might not get a perfect bounce. It taps the level to perfection and then it bounces. Sometimes you get that choppiness, and then it can take you down to 28 cents. Okay, it can do that, right? You just don't know. But it is fairly far enough that it could be safe. The only safe, if you are speculating on a bullish structure, the only safe number is 20 cents. That's the only safe number. Anything over here, okay, can still create a bounce without taking the low. Ideally, you want the bounce at 30 cents, but it could dip below. Okay, so if you, for example, have a trade open and your liquidation price is at 28 cents, you might get lucky, but you might not, because it could still stop you out and then still get the bounce to the upside, okay, or liquidate your position, because your liquidation is supposed to be below the low. Okay, ideally you won't get liquidated. We trade with stop losses. Okay, but I'm just speculating. I'm not saying that that's your liquidation, sir. Right, Legends, do we have, oh, we have 163 likes. Let's do the next altcoin. Legends, I want to talk about a meme coin that looks absolutely amazing. I think it's still going to take a little bit of time, but like, you know, like the zone over here after the 20th of Jan, anywhere after the 20th of Jan into Feb, mid-Feb, you can see here from the 20th of Jan up until, okay, around about the 18th of Feb is where I expect altcoins to start pumping again. So someone asked me yesterday, Dewald, when do you think altcoin season will start? Well, based on some of the bullish structures for most of the alts to the upside and the corrective structures that they find themselves in, from a timing perspective, I have a hunch altcoin season is going to start, let's just call it safely, first week of Feb. That's where I think altcoin season is going to start. If it does not start in here and you take the lows, okay, we might not have an altcoin season in Q1. Maybe we'll have an altcoin season in Q2, okay, because it's going to invalidate the bullish structure. Right, so it has a chance. Let's just call it first week of Feb, okay. It can go to the 1-to-1 extension. I have seen corrective structures often go to the 1-to-1 extension, which is on the 6th of April. That's very far away, but it could literally go sideways. I mean, that's going to be a bullish sign. Make no mistake. Even if the corrective structure lasts until April, but it does not claim the low, it just chops. It chops sideways, okay? That is an extremely bullish sign. That's where you accumulate. But you want the downwards momentum to come to an end. It's chops, chops, chops. It's either going to find strength here in Feb, or it's going to find strength here after the 0.618, which is, you know, between 18 Feb to April. And we can see a perfect example on Brett. Okay, this is the next altcoin that I would like to share with everyone. Meme coin. It looks absolutely incredible. Okay, I've done some Elliott wave analysis. I've done some technical analysis, so I don't have to bore everyone with what I'm about to share in terms of working everything out. It is here. Remember, guys, bread can be traded on Weeks and on Bluffin. Links down in the description. Okay, Weeks is absolutely amazing at the moment with up to 20k sign up bonus depending on the activities that you complete. 50% discount on trading fees by using the link down in the description. Okay, you get 50% off your trading fees. Most people have to go and buy the Weeks token in order to qualify for the discount. You get the discount. Okay, 50% off trading fees, and then also 10% cash back on the money that you deposit in your features account. Right, so an absolute amazing deal here on Weeks at the moment. Bread can be traded on Weeks, 𝗖𝗿𝗆𝗍 can be traded on Weeks, Rune can be traded on Weeks, they can all be traded on Weeks. So what I want to show everyone over here is the following. Okay, so I have done some homework over here. Right, so this could be a 1-2, 1-2, and it's going to be absolutely face melting price action here to the upside, because when you have a double 1-2 combo, that wave, this wave here to the upside, is incredibly bullish. Okay, but it should not take the low. Okay, that's your low, and I'm going to dive into the structure now. Or we just look at the structure from over here. We ignore this. Okay, we just look at the structure and we keep our heads on the grounded. Okay, and we look at the following scenario. So this is what I'm looking at over here, is to say that if this is a double 1-2, okay, to the upside, I just want to highlight, if this is a 1-2, 1-2, and you're going to get a third wave here to the upside, this third wave can be way more explosive. It can be way more explosive because it's building up momentum. Double 1-2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, okay? But I'm just going to ignore this and only look at this structure. And I purposefully want to keep it conservative and realistic, okay, because we don't know if it's a double 1-2. It does look like it is, but I'm not going to focus on that right now. So what I see at the moment on bread, okay, let's zoom into the structure over here, is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in an expanding Elliott wave count. Then you have that A, B, C here to the downside, and bread also gave me the clues as to how long this corrective structure can take on 𝗖𝗍. Okay, so on 𝗖𝗍, I told everyone, okay, after the 382 is when I want to see the corrective structure done. When I look at bread and I zoom into the 4-hour time frame and I look at the structure over here, exactly the same as 𝗖𝗍. Exactly the same structure, but it already played out, so we can use it, okay, as reference. You have a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have a corrective structure to the downside, and guess what? You take your time flip exactly like I did on 𝗖𝗍, from the start to the end. Okay, where was the low made? Between the 382 and the 618. That's where the low was made. That's your zone. Okay, can you guys see? So perhaps this is giving us the clue where 𝗖𝗍 is going to find the bottom or end the corrective structure, is between the 382 and the 0.618. It's exactly the same structure. Okay, so oops, what did I do? Let me just put it back. Whoops. Leave it. Right. Let's do that. Okay, cool. So now what I want to discuss is, why does bread look so good, Dewald? Why are you so bullish on a meme coin? I do have bread in my portfolio. I just want to take these time flips out the way. Right. But now also what gets interesting, where it gets very interesting, is that I can also take a time flip from this pivot to the end over here, okay, because this is an impulse. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. okay, to the upside. So I take a time fib from the start of the impulse to the end of the impulse, where volume is also increasing, and now with the corrective structure, volume is starting to decrease over here. So this looks impulsive, this looks corrective, and we are inside of support at the moment. Look at this beautiful support at the moment, legends. If I zoom out onto the structure, okay, look at how beautifully the support. You have support, support, support. You lost it. Resistance, 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 resistance. Okay, almost broke out, lost it again. Resistance. Then you broke out with high volume. Okay, you had the pump to the upside, and now you are inside of support. So a very important zone here on Brett. Okay, it is a massive support area over here, and it has confluence with the 786. When I take a fib from the low to the high, it is at the zone where you want to accumulate. Obviously, no financial advice. Okay, I'm just doing this for entertainment purposes. I'm only sharing with you guys what I am doing, but it's now in the zone where you want to accumulate. And also from a timing perspective, from the start to the impulse to the end of the impulse, is that this current low that it's making is after the 382. So it is reaching the zone from a timing perspective where you want to pay attention, because at any point it can start pumping, because it's from a timing perspective, it's in the zone where you want to pay attention. It's not like, say, that we are still waiting. So maybe, just maybe, Brett is going to be one of the coins that's first out the gates. That's going to give us a clue that maybe some of the other altcoins are going to start running. Okay, so zooming into the structure a little bit over here, okay, you can see when I take a fib from the low, okay, to the high of the pivot over there, we are approaching the 786, which has confluence with the support box that I've just highlighted over here. Okay, so for me, this is the zone where I accumulate. This is the zone where you accumulate. It can still take a while, chop, 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 chop. And then from a simplicity perspective, if you don't want to attempt, or too scared, or you're a trader that's very conservative, you wait for the break of the trend. There's your trend. You wait for the break of the trend. You can be very patient, because this potential move here to the upside is going to be face melting, okay, if it does not lose the structure. You have an invalidation, and you are now at a bullish target, a bullish bouncing target. You can wait for the break of the trend. Obviously, no financial advice, right? Brett can be traded on weeks and on bluffing. Just saying, legends, but I mean, Bitcoin, it's still chopping here to the upside, but you guys can now see, okay, how important it is to break local market structure. You have a high, higher high, higher high, higher low, maybe makes another higher low, higher high. Okay, it just chops up here. Let's see. Okay, definitely a target over there, right? Definitely a target over there by the 0.618. Right, sorry, legends, I'm jumping around over here, but I can't help myself do technical analysis on everything that I see in front of me. Okay, cool. So there's a chance, okay, on Brett. Brett looks absolutely amazing in this zone. It looks stunning. Okay, but I just want to stress that it can still take a while. Okay, and by the time it gets to this trend over here, it will be after the 20th of Jan, which is after the 0.618. I mean, this breakout, you can be patient. You can wait for some daily candle closes above. You can wait, sit on your hands and look for the bullish sign that you want to see. Okay, it's breaking trend, it's trading outside, it's not getting acceptance back below. A high time frame candle closes outside of the trend. Okay, I'm going to give it a shot. Low X, 2X, maybe 3X position, preferably a spot position to the upside, to at least come and claim the highs again. Okay, I mean, if it does successfully break out over here to the highs, you're already looking at 100% move. Okay, I mean, that's significant with a 2X position, right? And we're not even talking about the target here to the upside, which could get very explosive, but I'm being conservative, right? You're looking at let's see, from where price is now to the 0.618, you're looking at a 2.6x 2.6x. But I mean, it can, third waves, unfortunately, we don't know where they're going to go. Usually it's regarded as the minimum target and the most common target. But like XRP, like 𝗬𝗍𝗍, and some of the other altcoins, they have done this, right? Third waves can be very, very explosive, especially if you take this structure into consideration. What if this is a 1-2, 1-2, and you're going to just smash? Okay, you're going to go 2-6-1-8, 3-6-1-8. Definitely a possibility to take profits and leave a moon bag open. You just never know, right? I think 𝗬𝗍 is one of the very, very few altcoins, meme coins that I do have in my portfolio. And from a structural perspective, it is a very beautiful, easy to count structure. Okay, it's not often that I see a meme coin that has a beautiful structure that can be counted so nicely from an Elliott wave perspective, that shows beautiful volume and the decreasing. It has a timing fib that makes sense over here. It's just technically it's a beautiful token to analyze. Okay, it respects the levels. I really like 𝗬𝗍 over here, and hence it is in my portfolio. Right, legends. Dewald, what about Flux? I will go and have a look at Flux as well. And then the last token that I want to quickly discuss, Dewald, is 𝗬𝗍 a spot or trading coin for you? At the moment, 𝗬𝗍 is a spot trade, but it can turn into a low leverage swing position once it breaks over here. Okay, I want to see it break over here, the trend. Then I'm going to consider either a 2x or a 3x swing position to the upside. Okay, so for now it's a spot trade, but I do think once it breaks this trend, okay, it's going to turn, I'm going to open up a swing trade on 𝗬𝗍 to the upside to at least come and claim the highs. 2x, 3x, low leverage position, clear invalidation, like I've got on Rune and AR at the moment, and some other altcoins. Can't remember all my swing trades that I've got open. Right. Cool, legends. Another token I want to discuss is Near Protocol. Okay. Not going to go too much into detail, but basically very similar structure. Okay. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You basically have an expanding structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It didn't take the low, so it's valid. Or it's a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. But basically you have a bullish structure to the upside. Increased volume. Okay. Increased in volume, and with a momentum to the downside, it has a decrease in volume. The reason I like Near very much at the moment, it's inside the AI space, and I know that AI is the hype at the moment. It has an insane bullish structure to the upside, beautiful bullish structure. I just want to see if I did do counts that I've maybe deleted. Okay, it has a beautiful bullish structure to the upside, a long corrective structure at the low, and it's now finding upwards momentum. So taking a fib. Okay, I'm not sure if any one of you do have Near in your spot bags, but it's approaching a very interesting fib target. Very interesting. But also taking a time fib, just want to see where I took it from. Taking a time fib from the low to the high, okay, it's not there yet. It's not there just as yet. But I just want to highlight, very interesting target, very interesting time. Okay, there's your trend, and I will be paying attention. That's all I wanted to say on Near Protocol. Yes, I have a nice bag of Near Protocol. Mr. Crypto Big Brains, yes, I also have a nice bag of of Near. I also have a nice bag of Near Protocol. Okay, but I will also consider a swing trade in this zone. Once you break trend successfully, you have high time frame candles above. Okay, that's where I will attempt a swing trade on Near Protocol. No, but it's not ready yet, but I do have a spot bag. And the spot bag is just, you leave it. You leave it, right? You just buy up the dips. Okay, now I've had some altcoin requests. So guys, smash up the like. Hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to the channel. and let's do a couple of altcoin requests. I know some of you oops, what did I do over here? Some of you have been asking for AR. Let's go and have a look at AR. Okay, because I am still in my swing trade. That's my swing trade. You might be saying, Dewald, you're absolutely insane. What are you smoking? Like, what are you smoking? Okay, until the fat lady sings, this is what I said this morning, until the fat lady sings here at the bottom, I'm in this trade. And I'm happy to be stopped out and, right, with good risk management, not risking more than what I can afford to lose. But for now, the structure is still intact. Okay. Just want to clean that up ever so slightly. That is my load up zone, which we are still trading above, just holding on by a thread. But I'm still in the camp of until otherwise, until invalidated, still valid. And the structure has not been invalidated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. You formed a higher low, okay, compared to the low over here, and you have changed market structure on the local time frame over here. Okay, so it still has a chance not to take the low. Hence, I'm still in my swing trade. So more interestingly is, is this structure now making everyone nervous? It's this structure. Dewald, what is cooking? Because for the structure to remain bullish to the upside, you do not want AR to take the low at 12.45. That is where I will be stopped out of my swing trade. Okay. I'm willing to take the knock on the chin because I keep on practicing good risk management, and I always tell people not to risk more than what you can afford to lose. And I'm still in that camp. I told everyone that this is the load up zone, and we are still inside of the load up zone. Up, down, okay? The longer we can continue and break out from this trend, okay, the better. So as long as it does not take the low, I will stay inside of my swing trade. Yes, in hindsight, I should have waited for the break of the trend. But you only know what you know at the time based on the information that you have available. But I mean, I do have a clear invalidation. I also have a clear profit taking area. Yes, and you might think that I'm absolutely insane, but this is why I'm keeping my swing trade open, because it definitely has the chance, okay, to come and claim the high. And reject maybe here. Okay, I don't even think it's going to reject here. I think it's going to smash this level, but that's my swing trade target. My spot trade, I'm just leaving open for higher levels, but this is my swing trade target over here at $58. That is a, call me crazy, right? Where's my ruler? That is a 2x leverage. That is a 6x gain for me because I have got the position open on 2x leverage. Okay, so I will not get liquidated. I want to make it clear, very clear, legends. I do not get liquidated. I used to, but not anymore. Okay, I will be stopped out of my position if it claims the low. Okay, I will not get liquidated because I have a 2x position open. Right, and if it gets acceptance back above, there's another trading opportunity for me. So I will get stopped out, and if I see this price action that takes the low, it gets acceptance back above, I'm going to trade this. Okay, but my profit taking areas might be different. I will go recalculate my profit taking areas. But for me, and I know it sounds ugly, it's just that saying that says it's not over until the fat lady sings. The fat lady hasn't sung yet. Okay, so the structure could potentially still break out without taking the low. So I've told everyone on my previous live streams as well, I do not FOMO out of trades when I see bearishness. Okay, I plan my trade with clear invalidation where I'm going to take profits, and I let it play out. Because who knows, what if this is the low on Bitcoin? Who knows, what if this is the low and it's just gonna go to the upside, and you FOMO'd out of your trades because while Bitcoin was dropping here to the downside, everyone got bearish, everyone cashed out their swing trades, Bitcoin is going down to $85,000, okay, and then it doesn't happen. What then? Then you're gonna go back into your altcoins, and maybe AR is going to be over here somewhere, okay, and then you FOMO back into the trade. Now you've lost all of those gains. Okay, and then it comes back for retest, you FOMO out again because you can't handle to be underwater, and then it continues back up. It's so funny how the market works, huh? How people buy the highs and sell the lows, right? When things are uncomfortable, when no one wants to buy, when it looks like the structure is going to invalidate itself, that's where I like to buy. Okay, I have not added anything more to my swing trade on AR. I'm happy with the position size that I have. I don't want to add more risk because I could potentially add more here to drag my entry down, but my position size is big enough, so I don't want to add more to my position. Okay, I think once we break the trend here successfully, okay, without taking the low, once we break this trend successfully, maybe, yeah, I'll add more, but I want to see the bullish sign there. Right, cool. Flux, let's do Flux. I think Flux is also really has a very good structure at the moment. I do have a Flux swing trade open, 2x leverage. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I've seen a couple of requests for Flux, so let's look at Flux here on the daily time frame first. Let's take stock of where we are. Flux has a beautiful, exactly the same, right? Exactly the same. Flux has a beautiful impulsive structure to the upside in a 1. It has a low, and now it's going sideways, and it has made a higher high. Okay, it's made a higher high, so it's starting to change market structure. That's something that I look out for. You have a high, you have a lower high, lower high, lower high, and then something happens over here, okay, where you have the low, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low, and then you break trend, okay, and you changed market structure. You've now claimed those highs, so now you've made a higher high. So what you want to see is a higher low, okay, for continuation to the upside. So Flux for me still looks, it's not invalidated just as yet, okay. The bullish scenario still has a chance, okay. That third wave here to the upside, I'm not sure why it's so high. Maybe because I did the lock scale. Okay, $7. I mean, that's an absolute insane target. Definitely a possibility, but I'm just going to keep it conservative, go back to regular, and I'm just going to just drag this puppy down because, you know, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We want to stay conservative, right? This is my conservative targets over here, right there. There we go. That looks better. Let's call it $3, make it a nice round number. It still has the chance for $3 to the upside. Okay, on the smaller time frame, 4-hour time frame, okay, if you're unsure what to do, you apply the D-line strategy. So you could be in the camp of, okay, I don't care what happens over here, I'm waiting for the break of the trend. Okay, and this is the low that needs to be protected, because this could be a 1-2-1-2 where it's not supposed to take this low, but if it does take this low, this is the low that needs to be protected because that is the corrective lowest point. I just want to see from a timing perspective. You're very, very choppy price action over here. But I mean, if I take it from, I can't 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I need to take it from this structure. I need to focus on this structure. So you take a time fib from the start to the end. Okay. Ooh, we passed the 1-to-1 extension already. So it looks like it could. Okay, it's past the 1-to-1. Looking at this impulse, it's at the past the 1-to-1 where this low was made. So it has a chance. Okay, there's your trend. You wait for the break of the trend. Okay. Doop. Right. Let's see how this plays out. Right, but so far, Flux still looks bullish. Both the structures I have are still valid. So this structure and this current structure is still valid if it doesn't take the lows. If I just want to take a fib from the lows to the high, we are at the 0.88. I just want to see from a log scale. Okay. Yeah, we've also tapped the 0.88. But I mean, you can look at the structure as a whole as well. You can take your fib. okay, from this low is the most important one. This low is the most important one. So we haven't even tapped the 786. So it would be nice to actually grab that liquidity. Okay, but it can definitely, if it starts trading above these lows, okay, if Flux is going to start finding upwards momentum and it trades above these lows, that's going to be a very bullish sign. Okay, where it breaks out and it continues momentum to the upside. And this could be a 1-2-1-2 if it doesn't take these lows. But if it does take the lows, okay, then some kind of other bullish structure, right? But I mean, you want this to be the end of the impulse, this to be the correction that doesn't take or doesn't go down lower than 46 cents and then finds upwards momentum. Right, cool. Just want to see something. It could also be forming and expanding. Okay, so the one thing that I am looking at is it could be forming an expanding structure. Right, it could be forming an expanding structure like I've shown you on Brett and some of the other altcoins on say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, and then it goes. Also a possibility, so that if you play the straight up here, you know, you need to know where to take profits. Right, legends, that is what I see here on the price of Flux at the moment. Smash up the like for the education. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Unfortunately, that is all I have time for today. Legends, remember, weeks down in the description, you get 10% cash back on your money that you deposit in your features account. Have yourselves a great evening. I'll see you all here tomorrow. Thank you so much. Cheers for now.